This is 7 National News, and in our top story, the U.S. Vice President Joe Biden arrived in the UAE on Sunday on a 2-day official visit. During the visit, the United States Vice President is scheduled to hold talks with the UAE Vice President, Prime Minister, and ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces. The talks are expected to focus on bilateral relations between the two countries, as well as the regional security situation and ways to enhance them. Upon his arrival at the presidential airport, the U.S. Vice President was received by Her Excellency Reem Al Hashimi, Minister of State for International Cooperation, the UAE Ambassador to the United States, and the U.S. Ambassador to the UAE. His Highness Dr. Sheikh Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi, Supreme Council member and ruler of Sharjah, has attended the opening ceremony of the 6th annual Pink Caravan earlier today at the Sharjah Equestrian and Racing Club, where more than 100 male and female riders of various nationalities have participated. Under the theme Soldiers of Pink Hope, the campaign will run until March 17th, aiming to enhance the community awareness about breast cancer, the importance of its early detection, and to offer free breast cancer screenings for men and women across the country during the 10 days of the ride. According to officials, over the past 5 years, the Pink Caravan, which is an annual initiative under the patronage of His Highness the ruler of Sharjah and his wife, Sheikh Jawahir bin Mohammed Al Qasimi, has offered breast cancer screenings to more than 36,000 women and men of various nationalities and ages in the UAE, and provided support and treatment for 30 patients with breast cancer with a total cost of 7.5 million dirhams.
This year we have 4 pillars for Pink Caravan. You have the riders, which you have seen today. You have the medical team, we call them the Caravan. And you have the accompanying events, which is lots of social events to engage the community. And also you have the fundraising element. I really recommend that everybody, if they have a smartphone, to download the Pink Caravan app. If you have an Android or an iPhone, doesn't matter. In the app, you can follow us every day. You can see where we are as riders or medical team, and also you can help spread the word and maybe also help us fundraise for the Pink Caravan.
Following the ceremony, His Highness Sheikh Dr. Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi, along with a number of guests and prominent figures, headed to the University Hospital Sharjah to inaugurate the Sharjah Breast Care Center as part of the UHS. The center is considered the first of its kind medical facility that offers comprehensive and multidisciplinary breast cancer treatment in one visit. According to His Excellency Abdullah Ali Al Mahyan, the chairman of the Board of Trustees of UHS, the hospital's newest facility will not only offer a unique concept to the UAE healthcare sector by working with Pink Caravan and Europe's leading oncology center, Gustave Roussy, but will also provide a service that will alleviate the anxiety of the tests for many patients within the 24-hour diagnosis and treatment services.
We have like a good histopathology lab with all the facilities included, and we have a very excellent radiology department. Now we're not speaking about radiotherapy, radiology department with all the diagnostic tools from mammography to ultrasound to all the CT scan and MRI, because we have cooperation with the Gustave Roussy Institute in Paris, and we have like cooperation with the Pink Caravan and Friends of Cancer Patients Society. Those will help us, especially the Pink Caravan will help us in giving the treatment and the diagnostic procedures to reach the diagnosis. They will help them a lot. I mean, they will support them financially and
The main benefit is that we are trying to develop a breast unit which looks at the needs of the patient, so that we can diagnose very quickly whatever disease that they may have. So we call it a one-stop clinic. So the patient can come in the morning, they can be seen by a surgeon, then they will have their diagnostics, then they will have a biopsy, what we call a fine needle aspiration, and then by the afternoon we will have a provisional diagnosis, and then the multidisciplinary team, which is the team of doctors, that will then talk to the patient about what disease they have and what is the plan for the management of that disease.
Results from a new survey reveal that almost 3/4 of teachers in the UAE are actively looking for a new position. According to the results from Which School Advisors Teacher Survey, higher salaries are the primary motivation for 73% of respondents, who said they would consider moving immediately. Only 8% of teachers said that they received a salary increase last year, and 16% received a pay raise but below inflation. Nearly half of respondents, however, said they had no pay rise at all. Among the 531 respondents to the survey, 24 were principals. More than 48% of respondents were in Dubai and 43% in Abu Dhabi, with the remainder across the other Emirates. Teacher recruitment and retention continues to remain a challenge in the Gulf, with a recent Reuters report stating that more than 14,000 teachers are needed in international schools in the UAE over the next 5 years. The release of the updated UAE fire code will be delayed for a month to allow revisions, with civil defense officials stating that the speed of the blaze that took hold at the Address Hotel downtown Dubai on New Year's Eve had resulted in several additions to the code. A comprehensive list of tests that must be carried out has also been added to the code, following the implementation of the nationwide 2012 Fire and Life Safety Code. Authorities sought to phase out non-fire rated cladding, which are made from a combustible thermoplastic core sandwiched between aluminum sheets. Concerns about buildings that predate the code remained, with firefighters having to rescue people from high-rise structures in Dubai on 3 occasions in the past 4 years, in blazes fueled by this type of paneling. At industry meetings during the run-up to issuing the code, experts suggested fire barriers as a solution for older buildings, where owners could not replace all combustible cladding. Owners will now be accountable for annual fire and life safety maintenance required in the updated code, which will contain a checklist of what must be reported to authorities by independent inspection companies during annual checks. The manufacturer's liability will also be outlined, with companies selling building materials not approved by the civil defense now to be subject to prosecution. To address challenges of food security and create biofuel to support the aviation industry, Masdar Institute of Science and Technology has inaugurated a new research facility. At a ceremony, senior officials from the Masdar Institute, along with their partners Etihad Airways and the UAE Ministry of Environment and Water, launched the new facility, which has been described as the world's first research facility to grow both food and fuel. The process, described as halophyte agriculture, is used to generate bioenergy derived by irrigating desert plants with seawater. Researchers from Masdar's Sustainable Bioenergy Research Consortium believe that halophyte seeds contain oils suitable for biofuel production, and that the entire salt-tolerant shrub-like plant can be turned into biofuel more effectively than many other feedstock. The process includes using waste seawater from a fish and shrimp farm to nourish the salicornia seeds to irrigate the halophyte plants, with the water mixed with nutrients, then flowing into a field of mangroves before being returned to the ocean. According to representatives from the Ministry of Environment and Water, the process of converting biomass from the mangroves to create bioenergy is an engine of innovation to address issues of food security.
We're seeing aquaculture. So this is marine sciences, fisheries. Then we're looking at agriculture, and actually a very specific kind of agriculture which suits the UAE environment, being agricultural or growing plants in a salt and harsh environment. So when you're looking at these two aspects, I'm always encouraging young students at school who are looking into what they want to study next at actually looking into this. I mean, this is the future. We all need to focus on sustainability, on preserving our natural resources, because if we continue business as usual, we are depleting fish stocks, water resources, etc.
With the biofuel expected to offer around 4% more energy efficiency over currently used jet fuels, aviation experts suggested that we may be over 10 to 20 years away before a large quantity of sustainable fuels can be used for commercial operations. According to the COO of Etihad Airways, such initiatives are the right step towards preparing for the future.
Prices are at record low levels at the moment, which is great for the industry. However, there are limited supplies of fossil fuels, and we all know that at some stage in the future that will dwindle to a point where it's no longer viable to use fossil fuels. So we need an alternative, and we also need to be good citizens within the world, and we know that we need to reduce our reliance on fuels that are not sustainable. And this is our way of investing in the future, if you like. And we're part of a pioneering group, the Sustainable Bioenergy Research Consortium, that is hoping to prove that there is an alternative. We're not talking about next year or maybe even 10 years. We're looking at this as a long-term investment in the future. So maybe 15 or 20 years away before this could be used in large enough quantities for airlines like Etihad to be able to use every day.
And finally, in the bulletin celebrating women in the film and arts, the World of Women's Film Fair Middle East opened over the weekend at Vox Cinemas at the Mall of the Emirates and coincides with International Women's Day being celebrated on Tuesday. Highlighting the diversity of independent filmmaking by women, as well as the various types of storytelling by directors across the globe, the WOW Film Fair was established by the Women in Film and Television organization from Australia. According to the organizers of the event, this year's film fair is focusing on human rights, as well as themes that highlight how women are changing the face of society across the world. The event is featuring films from the United States to Tunisia and the UAE and includes guest speakers and workshops by prominent thought leaders, as well as the WOW Women's Awards held on the final night of the film fair, concluding on the 8th.